So now we're going to talk about a congruent angle. So what are congruent angles? Congruent angles are two angles with the same measurement. Okay. So the first thing I want to do when I construct congruent angles, again, we're working with both of these types of compasses. I'll show you how to do it with both, is I want to start by drawing a ray. And that ray doesn't have to go in any specific direction. So I'm just going to draw that one off that way because it looks a little bit different. Okay. I'm going to take my compass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it out about as far as it goes. These points on here are only so that we can name it. We can't really use them for anything. We have to make sure all our measurements are unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arc through this angle. So point on the vertex and just draw an arc. Okay, and point, remember, is equivalent to bullseye, and pencil is equivalent to the hole. I am not going to change this at all. And I'm going to draw an arc over here as well. So same exact size. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want to explain a little bit why I do that. So by creating that arc, I have now ensured that this distance is exactly the same as this distance, and so is this distance. And any other segment or ray that I draw from here to this arc is going to be the same because they would all be radii on that circle. So that's why I need to put this arc in. The next thing I want to do is measure across this angle. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this one. So I'm going to take my bullseye and place it on one vertex here, or not one vertex, but one intersection. Sorry, I misspoke. And I'm going to take the hole and I'm going to place it on the other intersection. So I want it right there. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I am going to pick up this bullseye and pull it over to here. I'm going to place it at this intersection right here. And then I'm going to draw an arc. Okay. So what I just did is I measured this distance along this arc and made sure it matched this one here. And then I'm going to take my straight edge and I'm going to connect this point with this intersection. I already know that this length is the same as this one, and this one. So now I've just constructed an angle that's congruent to JKL. I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to use this compass first and this one second. The first thing I do is I draw a ray. So I'm going to draw that out over here to the side. So I have a starting point. Then I'm going to draw an arc through this angle. Bullseye on the vertex, and I'm going to pull this little slider piece out as far as I can along the angle because it makes it easier to measure small distances like this. I'm going to pick up my bullseye and I'm going to place it down on the point, and then I'm going to draw an arc using that hole. Okay. This one, it would be point here, draw the arc, move it, and copy it. So now I'm going to use this one, point to pencil, should measure across this arc here. And then I'm going to place the point on the intersection and use the pencil to draw the other part of the arc. If I was using this one, it would be bullseye to point. And I would do bullseye and arc. Then I will connect this point with this intersection. And I've copied the angle. let's look at the two examples down here. So again, we're going to copy each of these angles. So for the first one, I'm going to use this all the way through, and for the second one, I will use this compass all the way through. So point to pencil, point goes on the vertex, and I'm going to pull out the pencil as far as I can and still fit it in, and I'm going to draw an arc. And now I forgot to draw my ray, but that's okay because I can start and draw one now as long as I don't touch that measurement. So here is a ray. Okay, and again, point and pencil. Okay, and then I'm going to measure across this angle. So sometimes it falls exactly on it. I just push it back and pull it back out a little bit so I can make sure I see that I am exactly there. Point goes on the intersection, and then I draw an arc with the pencil. And then I just connect point to intersection. And I've copied the angle. So remember, point to pencil is the same as bullseye to hole. So over here, I'm going to now place my bullseye on the vertex this time. My ray is already drawn for me. And I'm going to pull it out as far as I can. And I'm going to draw an arc through the angle. I'm not going to change this measurement. I'm going to pick up the bullseye and place it on B. And I'm going to draw an arc through the ray. Then I'm going to put my bullseye on one side and the hole on the other. So bullseye to intersection. I'm sorry, bullseye to hole is intersection to intersection. And then I'm going to pick up the bullseye, place it on the intersection, and draw an arc for the other one. And right now it doesn't look like I'm going to pass through any of these. However, if I connect them and complete my final step, I see that I pass through S. So this ray would be BS. And that is your congruent angle construction.